Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be working on fixing a city that came to us via the Steam Workshop. They've got massive traffic problems, and as you can see, all sorts of problems are popping up around the city, especially if you load in with the traffic view, and there is currently no despawning on. The creator of this file was kind enough to do all that for us. You can see that there are some major issues going on, and they've got some massive backups going up, as well as it's causing a lot of issues like dead bodies piling up, some crime, trash, people not being able to get customers or businesses, I should say, and just generally not doing a great job. So, first things first, try to find out where all the traffic is going, and we can do this two ways. I'm going to start with looking at where all the cars coming in off of the freeway are going, since it seems to me that they're mostly all going down this one road. And if you zoom out, you can see that all of the legs are on the inward path, so they're all moving towards this part of the city. As we follow them down, you can see they all merge in from three different directions down into the toll booths here, and then down into one lane where they are all exiting, and they are all trying to make it onto this one little road here. They're all trying to go through here, up into here. They're meeting up with all the people from this part of the town, this part of the town, this part of the town, this part of the town. They're all continuing to go this way and up through here, and some of them over through here. So let's follow this path first, though. You can see these guys are trying to turn right here, and whether they're going right or forward or left, it doesn't matter. They're all blocked by these people who are going through here. They're trying to get through here. They're trying to, well, they're getting blocked by all these people, so it doesn't matter where they're going. It looks like they're all trying to turn left, or at least enough of them are trying to turn left that it's a problem. It looks like they're trying to go this way, they're trying to go this way. They're meeting up with these people, maybe going this way, and they meet up with this crowd of cars going here. They then work their way down here. They're working their way across here, and they're just gridlocked at this point. So they're getting into here, and then they're running up against these people who are also partially these people. So how do you start to attack this? Well, in a real city you can't do this, but luckily we're in City Skylines and we can do this little button here, clear traffic. Now this is very important. Don't just unpause the game and let the traffic build up. You got to be strategic about this. And you don't have to clear traffic to do this, but it can help you visualize where the problems are starting. We'll unpause and we'll go to high speed here, and we're going to make sure to pull up our traffic map and watch where it starts to build up. So already you can see we've got problems right here. We've got problems right here. We've got problems right here, and in these little corners, and in these little corners. Now, these may not be the center of your issues. That, as you clear these up, the issue may get pushed out somewhere else. But these are good places to focus for now, especially where it's really stacked up right in here. You've got all sorts of intersections that are being blocked. This is something I would like to attack later, as well as this, but we'll worry about those in a bit. Let's look at this intersection. So you've got people mostly turning left and people mostly going straight here. They are getting very blocked up. Everyone up here is getting blocked by essentially everyone. You've got, this lane going here, this one going here, this one sometimes going here, sometimes going straight, sometimes going right. Got this one doing the same thing. There's not enough lanes to handle these people. Now, increasing traffic lanes is not always the answer, but in this case, I think this is enough of a major thoroughfare that it justifies at least having a turn bay. I'm going to take these and make them into 4-lane roads, except on this side, it'll be 3 lanes, so that we have a right and a left turn here. And then on the opposite side here, we're just going to keep it symmetrical as a 3-lane road, but 1 lane here and 2 over here, so that they have a turn and a forward direct lane. Then we're going to take these and we're going to say left turns go that way, forwards go that way, and rights. Actually, let's do lefts this way and forward and right in the other lane. We'll say left turns and forwards this way and right turns this one. And then for this one, it'll be right turns only and straight and left. And then again, we've got our priorities there. We've got our pedestrians, and we'll just prevent our pedestrians from going on these two here, since they mostly seem to be crossing this way anyway. And we'll say if you want to cross the street, you can do it down here, up here, or, these two right here. We'll let that run for a second, and we'll see if it clears up any of the traffic. Okay, so this intersection now has been very cleaned up, relatively speaking. So we'll just continue doing that with a lot of the other intersections around here, especially on the main roads, expanding them to at least have an extra turn bay and maybe an extra lane, but trying not to destroy the visual appearance of the roads or the town too much, and just going around and doing all this. Okay, as you can see, we've pretty much cleaned up this set of intersections, and we really haven't done all that much in terms of changing the roads or the layout or anything. There are a lot of pedestrians, which are causing this to back up, as these people cannot turn while there are pedestrians in the crosswalk. This might be a case where either removing this crosswalk could be a good idea, or adding a traffic light. In some cases, it helps to just put a roundabout there. I am going to get rid of a few of these crosswalks, though. They little redundant. I've also done one other minor change here where I'm allowing this road to also turn right onto this main road so that these people can just go straight and not have to worry about going around the roundabout a second time. So they'll have the option of turning right or going forward, or right or left, and they both can exit the roundabout on this one road here. This road should also probably be smaller, but we're going to get to all that in a minute. Okay, as you can see, this is all clearing out rather nicely. So now we're going to get on to what I was saying here with this road being way too big, and we're going to cover lane mathematics. So lane mathematics, if you haven't seen it, I have a whole tutorial on it. It's the basic idea that if you have a one-lane road and one lane comes into it, you should have a two-lane road. So for example, this is a two-lane road, you have one turning off, so that would be -1. This one adding in here, plus this one is now 2. It's not a hard and fast rule. As you can see here, we have one lane going off, 2 coming on, it's still 2. But that's where you fudge the numbers a little bit. It also works very well in situations like this where you have an intersection, you have one lane go off, one going forward, so it goes down to 1 here and 1 here. You generally don't need to add another one. There's not enough people turning right here to justify this being a 2-lane road in this direction. However, in this direction, it might justify it because you have a lot of people turning right here and a lot of people turning left. Now, this could also just be due to traffic buildup. We'll have to see as we work through it. But that's the general idea, and I'm going to go through and do a whole lot of lane mathematics optimizations, particularly in this area and this area where we're seeing a lot of traffic buildup. With just a little bit of lane math and a little bit of luck, we have cleared up a lot of this main area. Now, I know a lot of you have just been screaming into your headsets or screaming at your monitor, and we're getting there. The reason I focused on this before doing anything else is I wanted to make sure that our main traffic thoroughfares could handle the traffic that is about to come to it from the freeway. As you can see, if I pull up this highway on-ramp, a lot of the people are just trying to go down the same main road. There are several things we can do to fix this. First things first, let's stop having everyone come into this little residential area here. Some of the people do want to traverse down this road, but let's instead have them come down here where the main roads on the other highway want to come anyway, and where approximately half of them want to go. So we can get rid of half the traffic trying to go through these little roads just by sending them where they want to go. Another thing we can do is add another on-ramp or off-ramp right somewhere in here. And we can also do something down here on this main thoroughfare down here where a lot of people want to go anyway. If we pull up a map of the city and the zoning, it's fairly obvious why all these trucks and lots of vehicles want to go to these places. You have all of your industry, or in this case, offices and commercial areas and high density residential areas in this area and spread out along here. So everyone coming from the freeway wants to get down to here or over here somewhere or, sprinkled throughout here. A few want to get in here, and a lot of people moving want to get in here. So you're going to have a lot of families moving in, which is a significant problem. Some of them are coming from this train station as well, but the vast majority of them are not. Now, how we're going to tackle this is we're just going to get rid of this whole intersection right here, including this connection, all of these connections, and these connections. We're going to end up with something somewhat similar to this connection down here with this road, but it'll look completely different. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, and I could very well reroute this freeway, either top or bottom here, and I think that would alleviate a lot of the traffic so it's not all going through the center of town. But I want to do one more thing. So, as looking at the traffic, there's two places where it's really building up. This set of corners here, and kind of this set of corners down here. And I was asking myself, well, why is that? And of course, a big part of the answer is if you've been watching other videos on lane mathematics and, of course, arterial roads and things like that, there are none. There is, well, I shouldn't say none. There's one arterial type road here, but then all the others, other than the ones I've modified, like in here or these little bits in here, are all 2-lane roads, 1 lane in each direction. And of course, like if you look at this corner, there is no convenient way to get down from this road up into here. You either have to go left, right, left, right, left, right, or you have to go up through here and do kind of the opposite where you're right, left, right, left, right, left. So, of course, as I mentioned before, this could possibly be partially solved by adding a belt route or something of the sort to get your main traffic up through here. A lot of them are trying to be tourists down here, so you could also add a freeway or an arterial road to go right down here, and I very well might do that in a minute if this doesn't solve it. But first, I'm going to make some of these roads more of an arterial type road than the 1 lane in each direction type roads. Same thing down here, and with a few of these going up and down. There's also a lot of places where the roads just don't connect for a long time. Like like all through here, there is only the one connection here and the one connection here. It does also mean that people have to take these very extensive paths sometimes to get places instead of just going directly there, which causes a lot of problems. Ah, okay, so I added a few main roads here. You can see an arterial here, and one here. And I was wondering why people were still using these little side roads and they're seeming to prefer it. So I zoomed in a little bit. I just on a hunch went to the speed limit, and you can see very clearly that they have modified the speed limit of these tiny roads to 130. Now, this does two things. If you haven't messed with the speed limit, A, it does allow the cars to travel further or faster on these roads, but it also makes those roads the priority. Cars will prioritize the road that they think can get them there the fastest, not necessarily the one that actually will. So you can see this is a 50-mile or kilometer per hour, sorry, apologies, 50-kilometer per hour road. This is 50, and this is 130. So they see that and they go, I'm going to go 130. Okay, I don't know if that was set because of the way the person I loaded it in from had it set that way, or if something was weird with mine. But how you change it is you click on this little button to change the default speed limits per road type. and you change it to whatever you want. We're going to change it to 30 to make sure that it's slow enough so that all the other main roads, such as this one, are clearly faster and therefore superior. And these ones with the turn bays are also better and faster because they're 40. I've been looking at this on the map and I haven't really wanted to touch it. I wanted to see if I could solve most of the problems just with making minor tweaks on the roads, which I usually am able to do. However, it's proving more difficult than I thought, and I think tourism and people walking around is a big part of it. It's not the only part. There is more I can do on the roads, a lot more, especially more major tweaks. But I've been trying to make a lot of minor tweaks so far. So we're going to start doing some major revamps, starting with the public transportation system. And we're going to totally change how this whole thing is running right now. So the loops are obviously not working. You have plenty of people who could be taking the subways. You have plenty of people who could be taking your passenger train here to your touristy areas, and they just aren't. These should be way higher. So first thing with these metros is the fewer stops, the better on each line. The other thing is people like to go one direction in the morning typically, and then the other direction at night. So I find it helpful to have a lot of loops with clockwise and counterclockwise versions of the same loop. Just one more point on all of this, and I'm going to rehash something that I mentioned in my hierarchy of public transportation video, which you should go check out. Just like roads, you have public transportation methods that take you very far. The equivalent would be a freeway, or in the case of public transportation, a large train like you have over here. Then you have ones that get you, across town. That would be your subway. Then you have places that are like door to door. That would be your bus stops. So your subway should not be taking you to your front door. So all these stops that are super close together, while they seem convenient, are not how these sims want to use public transportation. Okay, so now that said, I'm just gonna start revamping this and I'll show you what I come up with. Okay, so this is just a really quick job I did working with mostly the same stations that were there before. Deleted a few, made all of these little loops, and then created one route that just goes from here, stops there, there, and there, just kind of connecting all the different loops. Each loop does also connect to the other loops, like blue and green loops here, red and blue here. They're on two different stations just because I didn't want to overload these because I figured they would be the most popular ones with all the tourist stuff. Purple or magenta and red here, and then yeah, the yellow one kind of connecting them all together. And as you can see, we have over almost 2,000 people per week, and it's still going up. The yellow line has the most at 411 right now. The blue lines between them have about 400. These are all people that are being taken off the road right now. I just noticed that this was not allowing intercity trains, so we're going to allow that, and hopefully a lot of tourists are going to start using that instead of our freeway. The next two improvements I have are very related. One of them is to get some of the truck traffic that's coming out of this railway station off to the right here over to a railway station over here. The other one is to do the opposite with our road traffic, which is currently all going through this main road to get down here. Instead, we have this nice little freeway connection, and we can just join up right here. A lot of the traffic, hopefully, will stop coming through this way to go through here, and hopefully will instead jump over here. Okay, as you can see, with a few minor modifications and some semi-major ones, this traffic is all moving. Not very well, but it's all moving, and all of this is more or less moving. People are able to get from A to B over here. They have to sit at this light for a little while. They have to sit in traffic for a little while over here. Now the main problem is, as we kind of expected when we shifted the freeway over here, right in here. And a lot of this is because there's just no good main thoroughfare down here, which is causing all of this traffic to build up all up in here where all the tourists are. A lot of this traffic is getting slightly caught up in this roundabout. It could be slightly better. We could possibly make an exit here just to push this traffic this way because it's going up through there and then turning left. However, we're going to deal with this next. So I've made just a few minor more tweaks. I've expanded this main road as I discussed before, linking it up with this one that was a main road from before. Optimized a few of these intersections with just some yield signs, things like that, and expanded this roadway here to make it more of an arterial road. There's still a bit of traffic here that I'd like to maybe revisit, and same thing here. But as you can see, it's been floating around 68 to 70% traffic. This is with despawning turned off. So I'm pretty happy with the results we've gotten thus far. I'm not going to take it much farther in this video. However, some things I would do in the future to improve this even further, keeping in mind that I don't want to change the layout of the town too fundamentally. I have made a few fundamental changes with the freeways here. But I would probably extend this freeway down here, maybe adding another train station down here, both for tourists and for freight. A lot of freight is coming in from here and going all the way across town, which is causing part of this traffic problem. Another thing is I'd probably move this freight station more up here where a lot of the office and commercial buildings actually are so that they're not interfering with all the tourist traffic that's down here. Another thing I'd like to consider is possibly changing this main road and actually making it a main thoroughfare all the way through the center of town and linking it up either with this freeway or something similar, just to give people kind of that arterial road. A lot of arterial roads are needed. A lot of road optimizations like that are kind of needed for this, but traffic is moving, so I'm not too concerned about it. Adding other things like trams or buses could improve this even more. And if you brought in an airport here or somewhere over here, you would greatly increase your tourist traffic. But that's not too much of a concern, and I consider, fixed the main traffic problems. One of the things I would like to note is we took the metro usage up to over 3,200 people per week. The passenger train is also getting about 100 tourists and people per week. So for a total of about 3,500 people per week using our public transportation system. You can see there's plenty of people moving around. There's plenty of spots with low or no traffic, and the places that do have traffic are moving fairly well. They might upset you if you're in a rush, but if you're not in an extreme rush or a person prone to road rage, I think this would do you just fine. Anyhow, that's it for this week. If you like this video, let me know in the comments or send me another city to fix, one that you found either particularly challenging or interesting, or just one that you've been stuck on for a while, and I'll see if I can give it a crack. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you do, Alfredo here says you should subscribe, or maybe check out this video that YouTube recommends. Well, go on. Why don't you do it?